Not about me. I was on a phone call right before this with a very long-time foundational board member, Mr. Roger Smith. Roger and Judy's name is next to me here on the wall. Roger made it a point to tell me he's down in Florida. He could not make it today. He gives his regrets. He wanted me to make sure to emphasize that none of this would be here, none of it, without the dream of Michael J. Cudahy.
Yeah.
And it's because of that dream that I've been afforded an opportunity to work here. The current staff here has had such a big impact on their lives, and the community has really been afforded a fantastic and unique opportunity. At the monthly all-staff meetings that Discovery World staff and team have here, we start off the meeting by setting the tone. And this is often a moment of inspiration, a call to action, a quote that maybe has inspired me throughout the past month. In 2019, and Mr. Brennan is sitting here in the front row, Joel left Discovery World as our previous CEO, and I was afforded the opportunity to serve as the interim. And one of the first calls I received was from Mr. Cudahy. And as Mr. Cudahy would, he invited me out to his home for lunch. And also, as Mr. Cudahy would, he invited me to have a pour of early times with him, which of course I obliged. But what was very clear in the conversation with Mike was him setting the tone. And that moment was the setting the tone moment for me as an individual, really realizing what Mike's vision for the organization was. He wanted to have a unique and profound impact on the lakefront. He wanted to have a profound impact on the learning community, science learning community here in Milwaukee. But most importantly, he wanted Discovery World to aspire for greatness. He wanted Discovery World to be the reason people came to the state of Wisconsin, that they came to Milwaukee, and that they came to the lakefront and had access to fresh water in Lake Michigan. And the reason, that aspiration for greatness, inspired the vision. But the vision was executed not alone. Mike served as the board chair here up until 2015, and he had a number of individuals, many of which are here today, that have helped him along the way of executing that vision and affording the rest of the community and those that work here this opportunity. One of those individuals I'd like to introduce next. He's our current board chair. He's a longtime Discovery World board member. I won't say how long, Bruce. And he's a good friend of mine, Mr. Bruce Keys.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. I was talking earlier to some of the board members, some of the staff, and just having the conversation about, have you ever met Mike Cudahy? Did you know Mike Cudahy? And there's a number of people here who have never met Mike Cudahy. For many of us, that's hard to imagine because he was so impactful on our lives. My time with him goes back probably 20 years, and he was the board chair for a long time here at Discovery World. He made a very difficult chair to fill. He was exemplary, he was visionary, he pushed hard, he got stuff done. I'm honored to be in the position of board chair, and I'd just like to give a call out as well to Terry McMahon, who preceded me as board chair. I would like to think that I actually have it super easy, and I think I do in many ways, because this place was built on a dream. It was built on a budget. It was built on a shoestring. It was built on some challenging moments, but it was built by a person who has vision and has execution. And I personally learned so much from that. And part of the journey with him is he is so Milwaukee. He epitomized everything. He loved this city. He chose to keep this his home. He got involved in everything you can think of, from transportation. He didn't like a restaurant across the street, so he figured out a way to get control of that and make it something other than pieces of eight. He had the vision for this place, and he invested in this place. I always, early on, as I got to know Mike, puzzled over the why. And there's one day where, for those of you who know me, you'll understand, I rode my bicycle and met Mike at the freeway so we could drive to Madison together. And he put up with my oddities. But we went to Madison. We were going to try to get some state funding. Governor Thompson, you may have been in office at the time, I don't recall. And we went out for lunch. And I said to Mike, why do you do this? And he said to me very simply that when he grew up, he had a grandfather who would take him in the basement and they would tinker. And he felt like there were kids who never had that grandfather to take him in the basement. So he wanted a place for them. He felt like there were kids in Milwaukee, and this is fact, who never had the chance to come down and see Lake Michigan, see the lakefront. And so this is that place for them. So this epitomizes the things that Mike Cudahy held as his most sincere values. For those of you who never met him, and for those of you who have, Terry and I were talking about this recently, a book about Mike and Marquette Electronics called JoyWorks. There's some copies spread around. Feel free to take one. It'll be on sale at the gift shop. But just if you see one and you want to take it, please do. You'll better understand who Mike Cudahy was, which is difficult to understand who Mike Cudahy was. Someone who perhaps did, I will now turn to somebody who has been a tireless volunteer, an innovator, an inspiration in her own right, and a force behind this place, Julie Cudahy.